for jazz. Willis Conover in Washington, D.C. with the Voice of America Jazz Hour. Jazz is made of many elements which came to this country from other cultures as people of other countries came to America. Jazz is many different ways of performing many different musics. Most recently, modern, rock, folk music, and electronic music. We see or hear this new fusion in the music the Mahavishnu Orchestra, Weather Report, Chick Corea and Return to Forever, the Herbie Hancock Group, and the group led by Michał Urbaniak of Poland. Michał Urbaniak, Poland. Michał Urbaniak, Poland. Michał Urbaniak, Poland.
Everybody welcome to Mario Forte Media Artist Meeting. Urbanator Days online intact. Right? Let's go.
As we have a tradition, I will then, after the sound, will ask also Michael to share screen with us. So, so we also can see video, because I know there is another video coming introducing Mario. I think you do have a video, Michael, of you working together. So please, if you remember, just to share the screen and the audio sound with us. Amazing.
Okay. That's something Mario should remember from 2 years ago.
Good memories.
I think you have to realize that music is your life. So how do you want to treat your life? So, let's be truthful to yourself.
Michał Urbaniak, Poland. Michał Urbaniak.
It was wonderful. I mean, we saw the people that came, better players.
I met so many great musicians.
Ta edycja, 12 edycja Urbanator Days jest fantastyczna.
It's priceless.
Nie spodziewałem się takiej atmosfery.
Przełamuję lody tutaj, jak przyjeżdżam. Świetne doświadczenie, naprawdę.
Ten moment, kiedy wszyscy muzycy zjednoczyli się i tak naprawdę gdzieś tam ta trema poszła gdzieś w las, a liczyła się tylko dobra zabawa.
So many great people. It was very heartwarming and I was very touched.
It's so extremely inspirational, like connecting people through music, just priceless.
Jak zwykle świetnie. Współpraca z muzykami takiej skali i sławy i współpraca między nami, nie?
But I think one of the really great things is that we had a few people who really found some answers. Dużo takiego świetnego grania, w ogóle takich smaczków, których brakowało mi.
In the short run, it might be successful to do some silly music, but it's so great. In the long run, when you're truthful, you're gonna be there. Oh.
Okay. So
that brings good memories, Mario.
Yes, totally. I didn't see this video. It was a lot of fun time.
Now.
Funny to see all those guys.
Okay, shall I stop sharing now?
Mm-hmm.
Stan, shall I stop sharing screen?
Yes, please do. That's brilliant. Thank you so much. And perfect. So we can go back.
Back to the meeting.
This is amazing to see the crowd and community coming up, and thank you so much to everyone who is commenting on Facebook right now, and also people joining us on Zoom. And without further ado, I think we got something special from Mario as well.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, okay. So how did it happen that you became musician, and tell us something about yourself? We don't know anything.
Right. I'm just a guy sometimes who likes to play violin. That's how we get in contact to each other, right? But so what would you like to know? How did I start music?
Yeah.
It
Okay.
would be lovely, you know. We always started with the beginnings. Also, I'm super curious how you ended up to live in 30 countries in 10 years and all that. So, let's start from the start, from your passion.
Okay. Well, to make it not too long, actually, the situation is even simple of how I started music. I'm not the son of artist or musician. I grew up in a family of Italian people in France, and they were accountants. That kind of mood, more than jazz or stuff.
Good timing then.
But they were not that good. But they were Italian, which I think saved me a bit, because if they were a French accountant, maybe it would have been more rude. You know, I would have stayed into classical. I would not have get to jazz. But they are Italian, so even though they were shocked that their son is becoming a musician instead of a lawyer, like every good parents, they were still Italian enough to accept that I could do something weird well. You know.
Good parents.
Yeah, the great parents. And my mom offered me a bunch of toys, and I never played with the toys, but only with the piano, which was in the living room when I was 3 years old, 3.5. So she got me to piano. The piano teacher said he has good ears. He could get to violin. And so.
I was actually thinking, like, why I left this piano in the room. He could be accountant.
No, no, I'm happy to don't have kept going with piano, because even though I like this instrument, it's just a pain in the butt to be a pianist, because you never can travel with your instruments. I don't want to deal with it. I'm happy with the violin for the size, also. So yeah,
So
I
that's
started.
the piano starting, but then, so how you moved from piano to violin? Was it
Just
like
because the teacher said he has good ear, he should get to violin, and I got to violin when I was 4.5.
Wow.
And then I kept going with it because I not because I wanted to play violin, but because I didn't want to stop. You know, all the time my mom saw me pissed off with practicing. You want to stop? We stop. No, 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 it's my violin. So then, because in fact, when you're a kid, you can get attached sentimentally for this instrument. Anyway, so I kept playing violin. Yeah.
And then over the time you started to playing professionally. Did you went to the school or?
Yeah, I did music school in a very classical way. Like I did 22 years of conservatoire in France, 22, 5 different conservatoires, classical, going from the first one until the one from Paris, which was my last school where I graduated. And then I started playing jazz when I was around 16, 17. I mean, not to play, but to know someone doing, which was DJ Lockwood, who met me in a school. And he actually brought me to his place. He has been nice through that. And he showed me what he was doing with a violin, which fitted me for rhythmical reasons. I didn't get what jazz or impro, or he was telling me about scales that I didn't get at all. But I was feeling that rhythmical thing, which talked to me so much. So it was natural then for me to improvise and start getting into that territory.
So how did it happen? When did you decide to go to and move to New York?
That was in 2016. I've been back and forth with New York the previous years for gigs, because I knew people, musician life. But I moved there in 2016 after After I just left actually a teaching position I had in Switzerland, and I just left Europe. I was living in Paris since 10 years. I was so with Paris for rhythmical reasons, of course. It's not personal, like would say John Zorn. It's not personal.
So then you move from Paris, and how is those 30 countries coming into the picture?
Because I've been not only living in Paris and New York, I also lived for a while in Tanger, which is in north of Africa, Morocco, in Mexico, in Central America. I had a band for 2 years, which was based in Austria with Georg Breinschmidt, the Vienna Art Orchestra bass player, and projects there. We played a lot in Germany. I based myself in Berlin for a while. I teach it in Switzerland. I conducted a big band in Italy where I spent also a consequent amount of time. And basically, I was more playing here and there in different places because I connect. Also, I played flamenco music, so I connected with gypsies. This brought me a long time in Spain. I talk fluently Spanish, Italian, and French, and I just make it in English, but it's enough to travel a lot. And as I'm telling you, France, it's for some reasons a great country, but I wasn't fitting so much to France at the time. I was a student and I was living in France, so in Paris. So I had to move. I like to move.
So from the experiences you had, like what made you to, because for rhythmical reasons, to fit the most, what country did?
Poor countries where toilets are dirty, where toilets are clean, no groove. Isn't it true, Michal Urbaniak? I'm sure you agree.
Yes, and also European jazz and American jazz, it's another story. I mean, there is a tradition of long tradition of a French input to jazz by Hot Club de France and that kind of music, you know, the swing era. But generally, European jazz is not what it meant jazz meant to be. Not always, at least, you know.
I agree, totally agree. And it doesn't have to be, but yeah, I mean, still
I'm
different.
still trying to work it out how it comes with the different style of music and the toilets.
I'm telling you, because let me give you another example. Basically, there is the countries where people dance and the people don't dance. When I say they dance, doesn't mean they dance good, but it means that even though they don't dance good, they don't feel complexé, they don't feel shy to just move their body publicly. And so Puerto Rico, all Central America, Latin America, United States, Black countries, Africa, North of Africa, Arabic countries, Lebanon, Iran, those places clearly have, and I think it makes some sense, a logic between the fact that, yeah, things are more into the body. Does it make any sense? I mean,
I think we're slowly getting to it.
Okay.
No, but I quite get the understanding. So, if we go with this analogy, the clean toilet people are actually moving away from that. But so, what countries are not that rhythmical within the sphere of ones you thought of?
Basically, and for historical reasons, let's say, white Western countries in general, more or less. Like, for example, it is clear that in Europe during centuries, we were focused into harmony. We were writing music for vocals. We were writing music for resonance, spiritual resonance. Yeah, I mean, we were searching for that energy, not the earth energy, which they call the Pachamama in Mexico. And fact is, believe me, every musician I have met in my musician path, when they groove, wherever they're from, when they groove, their body is here. The ones who don't groove, energy is in another place of the body. Isn't it right, Michal? Didn't you notice it somehow?
Yes, of course.
So,
sometimes I say, if you can play alone, so good that you can dance to it, then you're good.
Yeah, so I mean, there is today, I mean, the world is getting to be a sphere where we all are in, right? So, of course, there is groove, people who grooves, people who don't, kind of everywhere. Not everyone grooves in United States, and not no one grooves in France. Today, we have a bunch of different people everywhere, but yeah, there is still the weight of history, which makes somehow things test and sounds different.
You definitely sound different, I must say. Maybe would you like to me to play a video, or would you like to play something live now?
What's
Shall
up to you? I can...
Your introduction video first.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So as Michael is turning on the screen, not that
Yeah.
this is a reminder of sharing the screen while playing audio. Can we just do a little introduction about this video, Mario? What was the idea behind it? There's a bit of a concert. There's a bit of
Which video are you gonna?
There's the story
Red
about.
perspective,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Or if Michael is ready, we can play the video first and then chat about it. So, Michael, if you can just pause the video for a second, share the screen, and then play the video again, that would be absolutely nice. You may not guess what is playing there.
So, name Forte. Yes. F-O.
I think Michael is the only person enjoying that video. Seriously. Michael, if you wouldn't mind pausing this and share with us, we would like to enjoy Mario's video as well.
Did you apply for unemployment benefit? Yes, I did in April. All right, so do you have been searching for a job? Yes, sir.
Michael, if you can pause the video for a second. And we always have this conversation with Michael, and he really always wants to play those videos by himself.
What was your job previously? Oh, I'm a musician. Oh, nice. Which instrument? I play violin.
Michael, just not to interrupt you watching, but would you mind just put pause for a second, because we're still waiting for. Oh, there it is.
Can you say it now?
Yeah. Let's start. Yes.
So, name? Forte. Yes. F-O-R-T-E. Did you apply for unemployment benefit? Yes, I did in April. All right, so do you have been searching for a job? Yes, sir. What was your job previously? Oh, I'm a musician. Oh, nice. Which instrument? I play violin. What kind of music you play? Well, I play different type of music. Jazz music and... Oh, you're French? Sometime. And other than your studies, what did you do in Paris? I did record an album. Oh, nice. What kind of album?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Then I see on your biography that you've been in Morocco. What's that? Oh, very nice, very nice. So what else did you do in Europe? And I see that you've been in Mexico also? How long you are in the United States?
Since 2016. 16. But I came back sometimes to Europe. Actually, I also have a band in Italy.
Oh, Italy! Very nice. I love Italy. Where? All right, I see. So what else did you do since you're in the United States? Okay. And who else you worked with?
A violinist called Mark Feldman.
Is he Jewish?
I'm not sure.
Okay. And you have a band called the Knot Club? What means that?
Maybe you heard about John Zorn?
No.
Clarinet player Anat Cohen?
Okay. Oh, you've got an award.
Yes.
Congrats! So you're working on an album?
Yes. Actually, even a few.
And I see that you're the president of OCBA. What's that?
OCBA is the Organization of Cultural Bomb Attacks. Bomb attacks? No, cultural bomb attacks. Whoa, Mr. Forte, hope that story sounds confusing to me. I don't know, I'm gonna find a job for you. You have to understand that every single day I'm receiving here in this office a bunch of musicians searching for a job.
Jazz amigos.
What do you want?
We want to save the world, Mr. Miller.
Save the world? How do you want to save the world?
With jazz music, Mr. Miller.
Okay.
I need to say there was a surprising ending to the story. If you can, oh yeah, that's the mic.
That's the
Mario, you need to explain. Explain.
yeah, I need to explain myself? No.
The curious, I mean, the beginning is the ending is very clear, but it is also great to see all the places and the music you were involved, because there's so many artists you played with.
Yeah, a bunch of different things, different people, different places. That's why we got to more than 30 countries instead of doing all my gigs in the same place. Wait, so is it working right now?
There is a calendar with the precise date, so it's sort of summarizing what the year 2020 was really about.
The movie?
In the movie, yeah, in the movie there is a calendar and there is the date 2020, so it's the time the pandemic broke around the world. So
yeah,
how did that affected your journeys and your way of working and collaborating?
Yeah. So how did 2020 change things for me, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, well, radically, but in the same way of everyone, I would say. For every musician is what it is. But no, I mean, to make it clear about this movie, basically, I had to present, as it happened sometime, my works and the different projects I'm involved in or the things I did. And because of the pandemic and because this movie has been requested in 2020, during the time we were doing everything online and not live, I was supposed to have an interview, someone asking me what I did with who, like we are doing together now. But no one did make the interview. I had to interview myself, which I found it a little unoriginal because I was thinking how to do that. I was thinking it's going to be again a video of a musician talking about himself. And I tried to find something original to do with it, and actually also something more frank, more honest about what is exactly the kind of life we are having. Instead of telling you, oh, I've been playing with everyone and I did this album with this guy, and just showing actually what's the truth of the path. Even though it's zapping and it goes everywhere, it was to show my works, what I'm working on right now and things before, and to make it in front at a guy who represent the institution, meaning a guy who doesn't understand a fuck of what I'm doing. Because in the end, here's the truth. The truth is that the guy you just saw in this short movie doing all those things with a violin that, of course, not everyone is made to understand. But for example, you do, and a bunch of people around us do understand what it is about. But when you're in front of the world or the institution, they just absolutely don't get it. They are from another territory in their mind. And when people ask you to actually explain, what would you say? You know, like, what would if you were doing this in life with a violin? That's what you're like. Is that what you're doing? Please, tell me how should I say who I am?
I would put anonymous mask on my face and say, I will say the word with jazz.
Yeah, you're the jazz anonymous. You're the anonymous jazz musician. That was my just a tricky, funky ending.
I loved it.
Fact is, I'm not an actor. And imagine that I did this movie in a garage with my iPhone 11 in 2 nights. The first night, I didn't write the text. I just.
It was all improvised.
Kind of. I mean, I had to present my project. So first I did myself, and I presented my project. And then through that, I did the other guy, Jefferson Miller, the unemployment benefits officer,
Right.
representative, and asking what you doing, and making the guy who doesn't get it. And in front of my iPhone 11 with a lens and with some lights and with the microphone here for the sound, kind of trying to make it good. But basically, I did it by myself in 2 days in that garage, doing those things in front of the iPhone. And it ended up to be something funny. And usually jazz musicians, my colleagues who saw this video really liked, because they felt, concerned about showing musician life through this way, the real way. So,
Michael, if you wouldn't mind, stop sharing the screen, because there is a lot of action on the Facebook going on at the moment. Thank you.
All right.
That's basic. Also, we see you in the film running with the violin. It seems like Spain or other similar place.
Alors, actually, there is 3 countries.
There was a gang of musicians running through the streets
Yes.
and then playing to the lovely gentleman, being a little surprised, but enjoying it. And then also some scenes from the restaurants. But it seems like all the street sort of performance with musicians. What was that?
So
yeah, that's what I was asking. Look, explain us about conducting with sound painting.
That's another
Something
thing.
original he's doing, and it's incredible, and very musical, and very fresh, and very futuristic.
So what should I start with? The sound painting thing?
Yeah, sound
Maybe?
painting.
Okay.
I mean, that's what you did a few times there, right?
Yeah, right. Oh, the sound painting thing that you saw me doing only once in this movie with the orchestra. First of all, it's something that exists since a few years, invented by a guy called Walter Thompson. And it's a bunch of signs where you conduct an ensemble of people who are musicians or even not, who can just make sounds. And you improvise, you make the orchestra improvise. Then what you do and the way you make them sounds, it's about you, because it's depend how you conduct, they're gonna sound differently. Then there is another bunch of few techniques and that you can invent by yourself, which is basically to just indicate with your hands informations that people will play. Informations. For example, if I look at someone and I say, okay, I would like a long note with very low volume and going up 2 half tone now. And I do this and the person in front knows what I just said, so he just or she just played. But what I just did, I can ask for a musician, I can ask for an entire string quartet. I also can ask to 85 musicians orchestra. And so this is what it is. And in the end, if you use sound painting technique and personal techniques and other things, it's just what I would call interactive direction. And it's interesting also for pedagogical reasons. So this is what it is, kind of. When I use it, I usually use it with written music, scores also. It's a bunch of things, mixed.
So it's mixed, hybrid, like improvising and composing.
Yeah. And making the band improvise through your direction with a lot of random and aleatory situation, because that's the game. When you ask for a long note, loud or not loud or things like that, you never request one specific note. You can, but the aleatory aspect is important.
It's quite interesting, really.
It is.
And where was that conducted? What country?
I did it in a bunch of different places. I do this with the Italian big band that you saw an extract I'm working with.
I think I saw Morocco as well.
Hmm?
In Morocco, I think the one scene was from Morocco.
Yeah, but you're talking about two different things, guys, because I think, Rexton, that what you are talking about is the movie itself of this orchestra running all around, correct?
No, there were different scenes, and one of them was when you were sitting at the restaurant.
Okay, that's in Switzerland, and in fact, what we're doing, it's sound painting. It's a restaurant,
Okay.
terrace. Yeah.
And then there were, and I was thinking that maybe this is connected, that's a part of the experience, that you basically running into that restaurant, but through the streets of a city, and then you're coming there and you sound painting. But you're saying these are two different projects then?
Yes, because sound painting, it's something that I can do for concerts, seriously. Instead of what you saw, it's for cinematographic reasons.
Right.
I'm doing images of orchestras who get completely unleashed in the streets all over the world and who think that they can save the world with music. Something completely naive, completely fresh, completely cuckoo. And not only cuckoo, also just very nice looking. You put 25 strings players, cellos, viola, whatever you want, anywhere you want, it looks good. I did test it. You can test. You put them in front of this wall or there in Morocco, in Switzerland, on top of a rooftop building in New York, on the basement, everywhere looks good.
And that's what the reason to make it.
Yes, it's one. It's one enough for me. It looks good. It's like in jazz. If you say it swing the heads off, people consider it's not enough. No, it's enough. You swing, it's enough to make it, to make jazz.
So would you like to play something?
Yeah, I can play something with pleasure. I can play some music. Let's see if everything works as I wish. Hello. 6. You still hear me, all of you, properly?
All perfect at this point, yeah.
That's cool.
So far, so good.
So far, again. It's okay?
Yeah.
Did it kind of work? Because
yeah,
It mostly worked.
Yeah.
It was absolutely brilliant and lovely experience.
Cool, because I'm using the loop station, and so
And I think it's the first time in those meetings that we were able to hear all the instruments together, because with digital media, putting it the concert like that is not the easiest. So would you mind just share a little bit of a secret how you did to combine all the effects and instruments and also mic all together?
Sure, it's actually very simple because I'm usually bad with those things. I'm not one of those modern musician who knows everything about laptops. I have no Apple Watch, and I don't exactly know. But this time it's not that complicated because I just plug my violin and my microphone as I usually do in my stuff. Here I have effect pedals. And here I have a sound card, basically. I can't really
So like
show
an
you.
interface for the computer.
Yeah, interface, sound interface. So,
And what software
here,
do you use to?
Logic.
So it's Logic, and Logic is then passing the sound to Zoom.
Yes. Wait, I'm gonna cut this reverb. So yes, because on Zoom you can choose your audio source. So you can choose your interface.
So all right.
That's all. Yeah.
So then the output is then going to your laptop, and the source is your sound interface, all combined.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, that's a lovely setup.
It works.
And how about the inspirations for this piece? What there are?
Yeah, I can show you actually something simple that I do since a while. So basically, what I do it's basically to use my instruments as a gambri, as a juge, as a percussion. And you know, rhythm is always 1 or 2. Is a 0 and 1 is the code, you know. So it works like this. So down up with the bow. We do down up, right? Down up. So I usually do rhythmical things, which I try to make it groove up, and groove up. And then I improvise on top of it. Simple sequences for kind of minimalist, repetitive, but the focus is not repetitive minimalism, it's groove. It's the rhythmical feeling of it. So basically, if I do I'm gonna put a bit louder. Well, I groove up something, okay? Then if I loop it, okay, thank you. And then I use pitch shifters to have some fat, very fat, as fat as possible, some junky fat bass sound. You get my point? Even though right now with the internet and the connection, it might be not ideal, but when the sound is good, believe me that
it sounds good for digital.
Usually it works. For example, I can show you how it sounds to copy kind of Gnawa music. Etc., etc. I can go for long with those things, but I just groove something up. That was more traditional Gnawa. And then I play with layers. So the first layers was so what you hear right now, if you just turn off, then suddenly you hear this. It's kind of, you don't even get what the instrument is, or even depending what I just did, you can have a hard time to get where is the downbeat. I just do pizzicato, but very, very soft, very delicate. But the point is not, is the groove. I just groove it. Does it make any sense to you?
And absolutely sounds amazing.
And then, the bass on it, no?
That's great. Mario,
Mm.
are you ready with working on a new thing? Are you ready for blindfold test? Play something and you comment and tell us who is playing and etc.
Yes. Okay.
Of course, this will be a violin player.
Oh my God. Playing jazz?
Well, you see.
Yes, hello. So, yes, I'm classically trained violinist actually, but since 2 years I play also jazz on violin, and now I'm preparing for jazz violin studies.
What do I hear?
Phil, Michael decided to play a little bit of a surprise for us. Is that the one that with the questions you wanna, Michael?
Did you hear it?
We could
No,
hear.
two things happen at the same time. There is a girl
Yes.
who
We had
come from.
Lucy Brown talking to us, and I think she was about to ask the question. Lucy, we're gonna get back to no. I'll just introduce.
Lucy Brown. She's gonna get some Oscar in America. Look, it looks like an American actress from the Addams Family. Or something. Lucy Brown. The name is good, huh? Lucy Brown.
Love it.
Yeah, Lucy Brown. Sounds like a movie name.
Michael, you're playing something in the background. Is it the one that you wanted to do as a quiz?
Yeah, that's the one I'm playing.
All right, so I think we didn't focus much about that song yet. So let's see if people guess it. I have no idea. But if you wouldn't mind sharing the screen, we exercise it so we can hide the name of the song from you. So we would have to share another screen and then play the song. But Michael wanted to check out your musical knowledge, Mario, as well as our listeners. So let's try it to give it a go. I'm curious if you guess what he's playing when we play it properly. So I'm just gonna do a little instruction. So Michael, if you can share the screen of the other browser, then you have a sound on.
Shall I share the
screen? Share the screen. Yeah.
Shall I share?
Yes, please, if you can.
Okay, what with screen?
So, but remember to share the other screen, not the screen you have a song on, because there is a name of it. We're playing it from the YouTube. So Michael said he wanna put it on by himself.
So this is okay. Share the screen.
Oh, you just sold it. Quickly change. There will be no.
And now.
Michael, I think you just gave it away.
So it's not gonna work this way. I don't.
No, because we already showed the picture. So I think our quiz will have to exercise this for next time.
Did you see?
We could see it because when we did the rehearsal, I said, "Okay, Michael, so we will have to open a share screen with different browser and then play this on a different screen."
Yeah.
And it worked quite well, but we gave you a name away already. So for those who were catching it quickly.
Mario, did you hear anything? Anybody?
Far away. Yeah, far away.
It was only in the background. So maybe if we can play it a little bit, I'm pretty sure. But you will have to share the screen. So.
Okay.
So what is the question, Michael, then?
Who is playing violin? That's the question.
I think you got yourself a question, Mario.
I got the question. So wait, where are you guys? I lost in my window. Ah, okay. I have no clue. I'm sorry, I have no clue. It sounded good.
Okay.
I was about to say Steph Smith because of the time, but I'm not sure. Is it
Yeah,
him?
this was Steph Smith.
As was Steph Smith, okay.
And
By
Copenhagen.
accident.
What?
There are so
Or maybe
many.
you just seen it on the screen when Michael showed it the first time.
There are so many, you know. in the
But
jazz audience.
listen,
Wait.
Steph Smith was the first guy in my life who convinced me that jazz can be played on violin. It wasn't Stefan Grappelli, it wasn't Joe Venuti, it was not. Later on, I got into them a bit too, but it was too sweet. But generally, when I've heard live, we played in Copenhagen, in Montmartre, for whole month, 2 bands, Comeda and Staff. And I was on each evening with Staff, and he was burning on the violin. So,
Nice.
articulation and everything else. So that's why,
Yeah, this guy was sounding like a big band.
Yeah.
It's true. It was sounding like anyone from that time. They were playing blues, the motherfucker.
Yeah, like this. And he started, he was the one of the first ones. He was singing like Armstrong. I mean, sounded like Armstrong. And his band was violin, trumpet, and rhythm section. And in a way, when I started Urbanator, I did the same setup, trumpet and violin. Although music is,
that's nice.
30, 40 years later and different. Okay, listen, everybody. You have any questions for Mario? Mario is here to answer, talk, and etc. Are you gonna dance too?
Actress Lucy Brown. She was about to say
Lucy
something.
Brown, American actress.
Welcome to.
So actually, I've got a few questions. So I'll start with the first one. So you attended a few conservatories. So do you have your favorite place to learn jazz music?
Clearly not at school, but yes, I have my favorite place. But wait, you're in Poland?
Yes.
You're Polish, Lucy Brown?
Yes, exactly. I'm Polish.
Yeah, Lucy Brown is Polish. Mario Forte is French. We are in a complex time.
It's rather my nickname.
Okay. No, I mean places. Since always, I don't think it's happening at the school, jazz. Okay.
So in clubs or something?
It's happening in life. It's happening in, if you want to learn jazz, you have to do it, I think, in the same way that everybody has learned jazz in the jazz history, which is to listen to things that you like, to copy it, and to try to sound the same. Because try to imagine how they learn, all those guys from the 50s or 60s has learned jazz, not with school or Ebersold and they had a way to sound which a bit different than all those first graduated prices from school. You need to learn things, but it's not so much the matter. The matter is that you need to sound great. You need to sound meaningful. This is what's missing in our time. People who knows so much about music are many, but we are missing certain vibe, intention. And, you can always take some classes with people here and there. Probably you spend 3 days with a musician you love, and it's going to be enough. You don't need to see him every 2 weeks during 3 years. I've been studying 22 years in schools. And after that, I taught 4 years in jazz.
So you studied classical violin or?
Yes, mainly. But I did at the end, I've done some jazz classes at the conservatoire, and then I had to teach that.
Okay.
But the system is what it is. once I saw Michal, who posted something on Facebook. I wrote it on my quote books. He put it, jazz schools are like artificial insemination. Yeah, here we go. This is it's exactly what I think. It's not even an opinion. It's not a political opinion. If you have some interesting jazz musician or people that you want to learn from things, I don't know, scales, harmony, usually it's always those topics, right? People want to learn harmony, they want to learn scales. So yeah, you go to school. There is books, bunch of books, but listen, you want to play jazz, listen to jazz, love it, and it's gonna be already a lot. And yeah, just try to pick up things intuitively as much as possible, in my opinion.
Thank you. So,
one of the next questions.
yeah, so okay. Mr. Urbaniak mentioned me about your great chop playing. So my question is, how do you create new chop grooves? So
chops?
Yeah, so I mean concrete particular grooves like.
Oh, wait, I don't chops. You know all those things like. I don't do this because I'm bad and because well, I don't practice it. I don't try. I do it a bit differently. Let me show you. I don't chops, but I do rhythmical things with the bow, which is more like so I don't know if this is what Michal called chops. It's not chops because, but it's just grooves, the same way I do on pizza, I do with bow. So through this, you would have, as a question, Lucy Brown, you would like to ask me how I found new grooves?
Yeah, but I thought concrete or about chop grooves. I mean specific rhythms with particular harmony together, and yeah,
No.
with this chop technique.
No. Not sure to understand the question. I play very intuitively. I just play things, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not that good, but and then the harmony, it's a work that I put after usually. You know, well, I mean, if I want to, if I play harmony, like okay, I had harmony here, different things, no? But that's another construction. It have nothing to see with the groove. Let me try to give you a kind of useful answer. The groove, it can be a bunch of numbers, 7, 13, 15, for actually, it's way easier than that. It's one, always. Everything is one. So I'm a guy who feels every grooves, every rhythm like a 1, 1, 2, just one. Meaning that if I do Okay, so what I was trying to show you right now is that I'm doing rhythms. I move, things change. Sometimes I was in 3, sometimes I was in 4, sometimes I was in 2. But personally, physically, in my body, I just feel this. You know, I just feel 1. And then everything else is just a subdivision of rhythm. So I change my subdivision. For example, if I do, how can I show you that? I can actually show you with another system. The bow is like your hands, and the violin, which is your melodical voice, let's say it's like my mouth right now and my tongues. So I'm gonna just play a groove. It's gonna be like this. But on top of it, I'm gonna change all the time what I'm doing. Well, actually, let me just loop this and you're gonna get it. You hear the click? Okay, so if on top of it, I do. Okay. So now, if you need to write this or to, I don't know, study this, it's gonna get complicated because it's moving all around. If I need to do exactly this a second time, I need to practice. But when I improvise and I play instinctively like this, just out of the blue, I just feel the and I move the accent, you know. You know what I mean? I improvise.
I think it could be a great rhythmical exercise to be in time while playing.
Yeah, you're correct. I'm actually writing a bunch of grooves. I have hundreds and hundreds of audio files where the past years I just recorded some grooves who came out in my mind or in my fingers, and there is so many, and I'm selecting to just maybe work with it for students on a book or something. But fact is that you need to understand that everything is 1 or 0. It's binaire. I mean, not music, and music can be ternaire, can be, but that's feelings. I'm not picking about mathematically, it's just 1, 2. So then the way you move it, it's up to you. If I do 1, 1, if I do, you know, I just move. But for me, I'm just doing all the time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, you know. Make sense or?
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay. Any more questions?
I've got a question about your inspiration in playing a violin. Like you said, you met with Didier Lockwood, and how about Jean-Luc Ponty or Jerry Goodman or other this jazz violin players?
So
Like your biggest inspirations in that?
No, thing is that Didier was the first violinist when I was young. I heard playing plucked with the violin on an amp using effects and playing rhythmical stuff with his bow. So for me, it was the first one. It was I got inspired by someone doing this because it was my path then to go there, to plug and to do. But then I started to be, I really like violin, as an instrument and the way it sounds. And what I like in the violin is the way a guy like Ivry Gitlis or Misha Elman sounds. So when I want to listen to violin, I listen to Misha Elman. And when I want to listen to jazz, I was listening a lot of saxophone players and other instrumentists. And I think that any violinist who did something consequent with a violin into jazz got interest about jazz through saxophone or other instruments. Because we have so many killing jazz saxophone players. So why not to get inspired by them in terms of phrasing? And then there is no jazz or classical violin, okay? There is violin, which is this. That's your hand, okay? And the goal of the game is to put your fingers on the right place on the fingerboard. And this takes 4 centuries. Whatever, if you play classical or jazz or whatever you want to play, it's gonna take long time. So you have better time to put those fingers on the right place, whatever music you want to play, to check what the people who do it the best said about that. What's the how should we do it? And with the bow, same shit. Of course, you can play your whole career with this bow distance if you want. Some people did it. But if you like violin, and if you listen to Sibelius Concerto by this guy, and you really like this, you're gonna be forced to try to sound a little bit like this. And then the music you play, it's your business. It's not, it's up to you. So I didn't listen so much to jazz violin. I don't have nothing against, but I don't play jazz violin because I like it. Who said, first of all, it just happened. If you play violin and you have some intense rhythmical feelings, through a misunderstanding, you end up to be a jazz violinist. But I never decided of it. I actually still don't want to be it. No, I don't.
So listen, so that's why you forgot one thing, because you said to put the finger in the right place, to put the bow in the right place, but you didn't mention something you got by nature, to put it in the right time too.
Yeah, but I don't have, I have more problem with the violin than with time,
I know.
Here's the point. For me, to play violin is way harder than to groove. So that's why in the end, everybody's asking me all the time about my groove, but that's the only thing I never practiced. I never worked on it. What I do when I practice violin is actually extremely standard and classic. I practice my left hand position and my bow hold. This is what mainly I practice, to be able to be as comfortable and free as much as possible to play violin and everything I want. When I phrase, sometimes I like to be able to do the same up there. Bon.
But if I want to be able to do it, I need this flexibility to be on tune, to be everywhere, to with the bow and this and that, this and that. It's like those groove things that I show you, like and it's funny because people are, oh, wow, what kind of bow technique is that? Barocco technique. It's nothing. It's I don't even have a good bow technique. It's just something else. The groove. It's not
Mario
about
Forte technique.
No, it's not personal. It's not personal. It's a misunderstanding. This is what I'm trying to say to everyone. They don't. It's a
Okay, we were talking about the groove. We got one of the new friends who joined us, Michael Pollard, and maybe you could say something to us about the groove. I don't want to talk the whole stories about us. How did we meet? He will be next artist who will be featured in our series. But maybe you would like to comment something.
Michael's joining us.
Hi.
Hello, sir.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we do.
Excellent. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Good morning
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Yep, sure is morning here.
California.
Yeah. Yes. Well, hello, Mario.
Where are you? In New Jersey? Or?
No, actually, I'm in the West Coast right now.
Okay.
This Las Vegas.
Oh, you're there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas right now. So yeah.
All right.
Did you win or lose?
So far I'm winning because I'm staying safe.
Right.
Best way to win.
Yeah, gotta stay safe out here, you know.
So what is your comment about groove? You know, would you mind commenting a little bit or adding to what Mario said as well?
As far as groove, one thing I would say, which is something that I notice is not really like taught in schools or conservatories and things like that, is a thing called feel, which I feel like is a very important thing to have within. Because you know, when you're playing music, you gotta feel it first. Because if you're not really feeling, you really can't connect. So I think as far as like the feel, that's where it really begins. And then when you connect with the feel and try to understand, you know, whatever rhythm you want to do, then you can really connect with the groove. You understand?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So as you listen to something like, for an example, I would say like James Brown, you know, like a song like Mother Popcorn or anything like that. You know, you want to feel the pulse of the music and what's happening. And if it feels good to you, you're like, oh, okay, now I'm catching the algorithm of the groove there because you feel it within. You know, when you feel it within yourself, and if you play along to it, then you be able to really like capture, you know, that element within, and then you start to develop. And then that's when you really be able to start like building the groove once you feel within, you know, the music itself.
Basically, exactly what I just told you, Lucy Brown. I always get agreed with American people. Nice to see you, Michael. I'm missing America.
Oh yeah, well,
Not
so
not
that's
always.
pretty much.
Not always. I was in New York until recently, but things got so bad. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in New York, yeah. So you're the drummers of Urbanators? The drums, or?
He is a master.
Well,
a composer, arranger, producer, keyboardist. You should check. I didn't want to sell everything from our next.
Save something for chat.
Well,
on the 11th of March.
I just tell everybody how did we meet. I've seen.
It was amazing with breaking surprises.
On the Facebook, somebody said that he is going to do my song from 74, Butterfly. He is going to introduce it on February 28th. And I actually never had anything like this. I mean, some people recorded some of my music, but you know how it was. But this was like so official and so. So I said, gee, and the song was actually for that time was really, I think, really challenging. It was written 5 days before my plane to US, to my dream to be in New York. And it was dedicated to New York. After also title was from Herbie Hancock's Butterfly, the song I love so much. And sort of, it's my version of reaction, my inspiration. And then I was waiting till February 28th to hear what somebody who I don't know can do or did with my song. And I was blown away. And when you hear this, I would say, Stir, playing, arranging, and doing, you will know what I mean. This is a giant.
Nice. That's brilliant. So we're gonna speak about it more next time. We're sort of going, you know, with this chart, and I think we need to keep it for the 11th of March. So that's good. That's good to go. But there is something that you both mentioned, and something that I'm always curious about, because you said no one is teaching the feel. No one is teaching. Some people say, "Oh, you already have a talent," or like you said, "You don't. I don't need to practice. I just feel it." Yeah. But some people, and this is probably a question that Lucy has and many other people that are listening to us now, it's like, is there a way that you can practice to get that feel? Like with acting, I'm actor, so I know where there is a rhythm. I know where to but I didn't know at the beginning. I didn't, you know, I had to experience it, listen to masters or speak to them to actually understand what it's all about. Now, what are the points or what are the ways that you can actually master the skill of feel? Yo.
Whoa.
Can I share my opinion? Can I share my opinion?
Always.
Yes,
Because
Mr.
I also
President.
played drums, and in my opinion, like to start to feel the beat is to listen to some funk, jazz, and to all of that stuff, because, or of course, metronome. For me, I listen to metronome as a music. Metronome is not a feeling. Metronome doesn't have a feel, but the timing is also very important for me in getting a better feel. And if you listen to playing of Jeff Porcaro, great drummer, his feel don't come from the notes he's playing, but these ghost notes and other like nonsense little things. It's not, but in all of that stuff, jazz, funk, R&B, and rap, hip hop, the bass of the rhythm is the most important, in my opinion. The measure on 1, 2, 4, 3, and that's the all you need, because the all when we come to swing and other double times and other more complicated stuff, that is in more in 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 thinking. But when we come to rhythm, that's 2 and 4, and that's all. And feel comes from listening to rhythmic or not always music, because when you listen to Jack DeJohnette, for example, his playing is not very rhythmic, but he got rhythm. I don't know, do you know what I mean? But he's playing every second. What he's playing is different from the what he was playing second earlier. And the rhythm
still didn't answer my question.
listening to hip hop
If I
is the best example for this.
Okay, listen, if I can say something. He said something. Everybody's grown up here.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's, for me, the feel is like sex. Can you learn it with a book? Can you count 1, 2, 3? Can you get a metronome for it? Thank you.
Summarize it. Nicely.
I agree.
Well,
Sorry.
like difficult to comment now. Whatever I say about Phil will come to the sexual part that Michael said. So,
Talking about acting, it's one thing, Stan.
but you need to have a connection.
I had to be in this spot and had a feature film and some episodes, whatever, and I was scared to death. But the only thing saved me, and the only thing I would say, be yourself to be the person you're gonna play, but don't think. Thinking is out. Feeling is in. That's it for me. No more thinking. Thinking is before you decide to take the gig, before you decide to play the violin and practice like this mad motherfucker plays whole his life, and he's insane violinist. I mean, to me, it's just insane. But he can play anything, and that's how it is. That's for me. Okay.
Right. So Mari, you're about to play something as well.
Yeah, well, me
I saw you sort of preparing, and now you just gave me you opened the whole way of explaining stuff, Michael, and I'm just stopping myself from, like, it seems like Mario gonna have a sex with violin and all that.
Mario.
Yeah.
It's your gig today.
It's my gig, finally.
Your say. We want to hear from you. Whatever you have, playing or talking.
Can I make a request? Like, so it's a one life chance, one lifetime chance. So if you wanna play something, can you play something like, more like groovy hip hop? Or
it's Mario, what'd you say about it?
Well,
I'm just very curious now.
I mean, what do you mean by what you said?
What I mean, you can interpret this in your own way, but I think like groovy hip.
I will ask Michael. I mean, do we probably agree? What it is to play hip hop? Basically, make something groove and rap, or Michael, can you help? Michael Pollard.
You talking to me?
Yeah. Can you help?
Oh, okay.
What it is, how it is to play hip hop, That was the question of
Oh, hip hop. Well,
okay.
But I don't think, guys, what Jan said is he basically, when Mario started to play, I'm sorry for interrupting, but just to get those short conversation together, when Mario started to, just before Mario was about to play, Jan joined us and asked if Mario could do a little bit of groove in hip hop. And we don't know what it is, but Mario, what do you feel?
Oh, well, it's one of those things where the groove is kind of like in between the statement of playing straight and swung. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like in between. Like you hear like a beat where it's pretty straightforward, most likely 4/4. You know, when you like, you nod your head. If you can nod your head to it, it's cool. And I mean, when you go for the pulse, that's another thing. Um, there is beat, well, it's basically pulse, kind of the same thing. But once you attach to that, well, you can really feel it out when you going for a hip hop beat, especially if you groove into like hip hop beats from like the 80s and 90s, because hip hop is a little different now. You know, you got the thing known as trap, I would say. So the beat is a little different. But I noticed for me, you know, I'm listening to some like a Tribe Called Quest or something like, you know, KRS-One or anything like that, you know, like as far as their production and beats, you can just kind of like dive into it with that feeling, that pulse, you know, that kind of thing. And once you do that and you play along to it, you can just like, you know, like bow a note, you know, you could begin with that, just bow a note, just to kind of test the waters there. And once you do that, you start building and building. And if it feels good to you, then you can go right into it.
Maya, how how would you answer that question about playing hip hop?
I can't, me too, I've been into listening, wait. I've been into listening some hip hop some time ago. I really like it. I'm actually working with two rappers in something right now. So I like it. I did also listen a lot to Jay Dilla, Tribe Called Quest, The Roots, The Rootses, and Outkast. Even I mean, a bunch of things actually. You actually asked me to play hip hop. Listen, I'm alone with a violin, and I miss to really play something that we could call hip hop. At least heavy drums, being laid back as fuck. This is exactly what I miss, because to play something that I could give the identity to say that's hip hop alone here, not sure, man. But it's a lot of music are a feel, and jazz is a lot. But hip hop, no feel, no hip hop. It's all about that. The way. So I don't know. I mean, if I had to play, I did a jam. I was part of a jam in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, last year. It was a hip hop jam, and I was going there without my bow, because we don't give a fuck of taking a stupid violin solos of a 16 bar in the middle, in between two rappers. We don't. I personally don't give a fuck of that. But I was going there with my pitch shifters, and it was hard to convince the guys that I was here to play the bass. But the few times it worked, I was just making the bass, grooving it up with drummers. And that was cool. And of course, the guys, when they saw I was doing this with a violin, they were like, "What the fuck you doing?" Well, and that was this kind of sound. I think it's too loud. Isn't it too loud?
No, no, no. Mario.
Yes.
It was. Would you mind to play the loops that you played together? Because at some point we lost the sound. So maybe
We're losing the sound.
And we lost him. Oh, he's back.
Working?
I think we're getting the gist of it. Yeah. Sometimes going up and down, but
Okay, cool. Want me to play some more on it?
Well, we would like to hear from you for what's the music young musician for young musicians, advices, and unless there are more questions here, if you don't have, like
I also got
from your point
another
of view,
question.
where are you going? Oh,
I got another question about your inspirations from like guitar players or saxophone players, like I don't know any of those. Do you got any of the your biggest inspiration in like I don't know way of playing, your favorite I don't know musician or one of the favorite, because we got many of
There
favorite
are
artists.
many, brother. I'm the wrong guy with this question of what is your favorite. Whatever, if it's about food, about music, or whatever, what is your favorite? If I need to pick one or two, it's hard. Even worse with music because there's so many. I've been into. I mean, I started uh, taking jazz seriously from the time I practiced Charlie Parker solos. So Charlie Parker and bebop things. So this, then I've been also a lot into Brazilian music, Gilberto Gismonti and Hermeto Pascoal and a bunch of Brazilian musicians. Keeping going with classical music too and stuff like that. All the guitar heroes like Isai, Paganini, you know, and I mean, so many people, so many.
So Egberto Gismonti was an inspiration for you, yeah?
Yes.
He's I love his way because he's a multi-instrumentalist, I think, because he was playing
He plays
piano, guitar.
piano killing, guitar killing. Andy is a groovy motherfucker, of course. He's Brazilian. That's a minimum not there. It's a minimum. Just you groove, even though you manage a bakery or a shoes shop, you groove. You're Brazilian. Anyway, and so yes, but I play with Brazilian musicians. I do things with this community, so I know a bit of this music scene. And then I've been listening to so many things, like so much musicians. I have hard time to give you one. Yeah, Gismonti has been an influence. Pat Metheny has been an influence when I was a teenage. He was my superhero. I never got a fuck about Batman or Superman, but Pat Metheny, which is this guy coming on.
I want to give you a question about your inspiration from Pat, because on your less avant-garde moments, I can hear the I don't know tritons or what you play. It very remind me of Pat.
Yeah, I've been listening to Metheny music to go sleep for many years.
This is like a good inspiration. And also, where you, Michael asked you, and I think as we are running out of time, and thank you, Cyprian, for this question. The last probably question for tonight would be: we've heard your inspirations, but where are you heading? What are your plans for the future?
Yeah.
What territories, of course, of music you want to discover?
Well, right now, I'm working on different productions because I have met musicians and did so much gigs with a bunch of people those past years. Now I'm bringing some experience to put on the CD, something on more than one. So I'm having a duo with a Brazilian percussionist. We play plug with electronics and looping things. It's very groovy, it's very electronic, and it's this duo with violin and percussion. I play in duo with a cellist at the moment, Ernst Reisiger, and it's more something between jazz, Baroque music, minimalist, repetitive music, stuff like that. More, it completely acoustic. I'm doing a band called Not Club, which is in between avant-garde music and gypsy jazz, actually. I'm working with Matt Olenberg, which is a guitar player, and we are about to record a trio album with drums. So it's guitar, drums, and violin. I play the bass. Matt Olenberg is the John Zorn's guitarist since many years into metal rock project. So the vibe of this music, it's kind of, rock, metal, Zornish stuff. Um, and yeah, and I also write music for strings ensembles. And right now I'm working on some chamber music for strings. So different things. Though I'm also a guy who sometimes I'm forced to do a project because the music industry asks me. They want a name. They want a date. They want a dress code. They want to know everything. Okay, so now I'm forced to say, yeah, I have a band, it's a duo, ta, 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 ta. But to be honest, I'm just a guy who plays. With many people, I'm trying to search for people with who we can feel the same league in terms of, okay, let's go for it, Not many blah, blah, not many talk. I can't deal anymore with those rehearsals where people, without having started to play, they already talk a lot. So yes, I just brought a composition. Let's try to do the B, and then we go back to the A, and you don't even know those guys, and you don't know what they play, and we don't get to it. I like to be extremely spontaneous with it, but yeah.
Amazing. That's absolutely amazing, and it seems like you've got a lot on your plate.
Yes, I have different things, and that's why in an ideal world, when someone call me for gigs, I would like to say, okay, so I just bring what I feel.
I hope it's gonna happen very soon. Hopefully, with this
is it called Mediterranean diet?
It could be. It's a good one. I should keep this one, Mediterranean diet.
Martin, so I hope when you create and produce all the CDs, please share the word with us. Send us some emails, and we will post it within the Urbanators community and spread the word about your projects. And
that's nice. Thank you for that. I'm actually kind of new with all those things. I have spent all those years. You know why I left France? Is because I didn't want to spend half of my days doing emails. And I went to, and I left. No, and I let no, I was seeing my colleagues today, musicians with the laptop all the fucking time. So, yeah, what's your job? I'm a musician. So I'm making calls. I'm making.
Still play keyboard.
Yeah, I mean, it's too much. Sometimes it's too much, I think. In New York, I was playing more, so it was cool. But now, to produce everything, I need to do some keyboard. Yeah, I mean, it's too much. Sometimes it's too much, I think.
I think Dorota plays your microphone. You need to pause it.
Now, to produce everything,
you need to mute Dorota, you need to mute the microphone.
I mean, it's too much. Sometimes it's too much, I think.
I think Dorota plays your microphone. You need to pause it. Thank you, Dorota. I think she's Dorota. You're watching Facebook.
No, Dorota is on Mars with perseverance, right? She's out there having fun,
recalling the past, as we would say. Guys, Michael, would you like to say something at the end? Or?
Yeah, same as you. I mean, thanks, Mario.
Thanks to you. You're welcome.
And hope to see you in our community, which we are here building. There will be many new things on the website. Stan is in charge of this, but it takes time. So we go as we go. We build as we build. There will be some music. There will be some connections. You will have some forums. Hope you will like working with Urbanator Days.
For sure.
maybe
And
last
sharing the
thing
groove with the urbanators, yeah.
for somebody that doesn't know where the name urbanator came from.
I don't know.
Okay,
For
okay.
me, a bit it sounds like for I don't know, like Ursus, the mm,
Oh,
tractor, like it's a bit sounds like that. My friend was laughing about the name Urbanator, but for me it's very cool name, very hip hop. Yeah.
But where it came from, basically in '89, I was 1 minute. Sorry, sorry.
Michael has to do it, guys.
I was in the morning. I was going out to empty Manhattan. I loved it, and listening to BGO. And in the morning, there was some poets making poetry to jazz, and I started to like it. So since I had great connections in Jamaica, Queens, and young boys, musicians, great guys, 15 years old, Marcus Miller, and a lot of great, really musicians. So I said, I will have one poet too. I'll ask if somebody can do this. And it showed that they started to do it rhythmically, and it was rap, jazz with rap. Then I went to President of Colombia, George Butler, with the idea, and he listened to it. He said, "Wait a minute, but it's not jazz." He sent me to R&B department. Then I went to young guys in R&B departments, and they said, "Well, this is jazz. Why George doesn't put it?" Anyway, make it short. Michael Urbaniak was Polish fiddler. My image was out for this kind of music. So one night I had a dream. I said, Urbanator. And that's the band. We created and recorded album a long time ago.
That's an amazing story, Michael, and thank you so much for sharing with us. So
basically, Urbanator for me means jazz with an attitude. So with the feel, it's the same.
And I think as to finish, it leads to what you guys said about the feel. Like Urbanator, for me, clearly from the conversations we have with Michael, is that the musician that has the feel.
Stan, attitude for your acting. Attitude.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like Miles said, 80% of attitude, 20% of music.
Absolutely. So I leave you with absolutely fantastic attitude for the rest of the evening, guys. Love you all, and we'll see you soon.
Mario.
Beginning of March. Mario, thank you so much.
And
You're welcome. My pleasure to be
on
around.
here or there. And mind you, in the fall, we are planning to go back also to do live, because we do live workshops and concerts, but during the COVID, whatever, the pandemic, that's all we have.
So soon, Michael, soon we're all gonna meet in live. At the moment, digital will do. Take care, guys, and enjoy your evening.
Thanks,
Love you
guys.
all.
It was nice to see you all.
Right too.
Keep in touch, everyone.
Absolutely.